If you want to buy cheap, reliable NBA 2K19 MT, please go to dvdj.com, use the code CRUSH, and if you're not familiar with the process, you can contact them on Twitter. Both links will be in the description. What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today we're going to be not rebuilding, because this isn't a rebuild. This is a predicting the offseason series with the Detroit Pistons, the team that was eliminated as well yesterday. And honestly, guys, I didn't even check if the Jazz got eliminated yesterday. It's something I should check, but we're doing the Pistons nonetheless. I did not see what happened in that Utah Rockets game yesterday. I'm going to check that. But I did do the league meetings and have now the percentages the same for the top three lottery teams, which is awesome. So other than that, we know the Pistons, Blake Griffin, played the best he could, but he was just kind of hurt in the playoffs. You got Andre Drummond still, Reggie Jackson. There's just a lot that this team needs to change in order to get better for next season. Now, whether or not they take the competitive route or they take the tanking route and just decide to blow this all up, that remains to be seen. But the fact that you have Blake Griffin on this terrible big contract for the next 3 seasons, I would think they would try to stay the competitive route, and that needs to be done this offseason. So let's go to the draft lottery, and then let's see if I did a good job. 14%. Yes, I did. So that looks pretty good. Awesome stuff there. And then now let's see who got the pick. The Pelicans jump all the way to number 1, which is interesting. So it's something that could happen, though. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. Very interesting. But for the staff signing, we still have Dwayne Casey. I don't picture him being fired. So we'll go ahead and leave him. And then for the NBA draft, we have the 15th pick overall, which is pretty good. But like I said, in last video I did with the Grizzlies, I traded for Mike Conley, and I'm probably going to do the same thing today. I think, or in the Grizzlies video, I traded Mike Conley to the Pistons, I should say. And I think I'm going to do the same thing, because it makes all the sense in the world to me that the Pistons would be all over Mike Conley. I just think it's a perfect fit. I think Blake Griffin and Mike Conley kind of fit the same timeline of players wanting to win a championship before they're out of their primes, really. So I think it makes so much sense competing for the playoffs, and if you're able to get some more shooters around those 3 players, I think you're golden. I think it'd be very good. So I'm definitely going to look for that. Maybe even the Pistons get wild and trade Andre Drummond or something. I don't know. So, but I'm going to go ahead and jump into this draft. Or no, I'm going to jump into this trade. And unfortunately, I think the Pistons will have to trade Luke Kennard this offseason. I mean, it's just going to have to happen. He is 23 years old, and he is a nice young prospect and everything. But, guys, the way I justify this, do you guys ever picture Luke Kennard being a #1 option on our team? A go-to scorer on your team that you can just go and say, go get me a basket? I mean, maybe he could do that and all, but he's not going to be the #1 scorer on any team. And I could be totally wrong. He just kind of reminds me of a JJ Redick, a support nice shooter that's always going to ball out next to other players, right? But I just can't picture him being the sole #1 guy and being really good. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, though. But I think Luke Kennard will have to be traded in order to get any kind of point guard this offseason. And that's what the Pistons need desperately. They need perimeter play. And Mike Conley is just making a lot of sense to me. So you could throw in Mike Conley. You also throw in Reggie Jackson there. I think I did Luke Kennard, Reggie Jackson, and I think John Lewis in the trade as well. So if you're able to do this and make this happen, and if they take this straight up, that would be great. They don't want to take it straight up, though. So what if we threw in a 2nd-round pick and they agree? So just like that, we got Mike Conley on the roster now, which makes all the sense in the world. And you still have the 15th pick overall to do something with that. So really like that. Very awesome stuff there. So now let's jump in to the 15th draft pick, and let's try to get somebody that's going to come in and contribute right away to help these Detroit Pistons out. So we got Keldon Johnson, who would be a nice replacement for and Cameron Reddish. Although I do get Cameron Reddish quite a bit, so I don't know if I want to get Cameron Reddish. I just get him a lot. I feel like Jalen McDaniels, Nazarian Reed, and I don't picture Cameron Reddish dropping all the way to the 15th pick. So you know what? I'm just realizing. I wonder if these overalls are being affected just because of that storyline stuff. I don't know if it gives me the option to change that, but whatever. We're going to take Keldon Johnson out of Kentucky just to change it up a little bit and not get Cameron Reddish. So, yeah, Zion Williamson stay the same. Let's just look at these overalls. I'm just curious. Cameron Reddish's overall was really when did he 75 overall? He was like a 78, so I don't know. Romero Langford was a 70, or not Romero Langford. Where is RJ Barrett 80? So I don't know. Maybe that storyline stuff is affecting the overalls, or this guy just changed the draft class a little bit. Cameron Reddish makes all the sense in the world, but I just don't see him being available at number 15. So Fee Mikhailuk, definitely want to sign him back. So you traded Reggie Bullock for him, so might as well keep him, right? Isaiah Whitehead, I'm probably not going to worry about bringing him back. And then we have probably little to no money left to do anything, or we might have some. Ish Smith was a very good backup point guard, but I don't know if we'll have enough money to do anything here. So let's go ahead and see. So not a lot of money to work with at all. So you got Langston Galloway, Don Maker, Keldon Johnson now, Bruce Brown. So yeah, like I said, I figured there wouldn't be a lot of money. So Mike Conley is really our point guard right now. Keldon Johnson's going to be our starting shooting guard potentially, unless we sign someone else. But being able to shoot the 3 ball is what I wanted right away, so that's good. And then Langston Galloway's contract does suck, but I don't know if anyone would take it. And you got Svi Mikhailuk at the small forward, Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond. So the front court's good. You need a small forward or starting small forward potentially though. So let's go look for some. A guy like Robert Covington makes all the sense in the world, but obviously Robert Covington isn't available at the moment. So let's go look for what we can get. So we got Terrence Ross as a shooter off the bench. It makes a lot of sense. Tyreek Evans, Wesley Matthews, Danny Green, Avery Bradley. Avery Bradley was on the Pistons at one point, so was KCP. Wayne Ellington, I think you do have to resign this man. He was pretty good for you, so I could definitely see Wayne Ellington probably coming back if they could get him back, but he might want to go play for Contender. So one of these small forwards, these shooting guards, is looking good to me, but we're gonna try to get someone that you guys like Terrence Ross off the bench, or do you think he can start next year? Because he has been playing pretty well. He might have earned himself a contract. Whether or not he stays with Orlando remains to be seen, but I can see Terrence Ross being a good fit in Detroit, especially since they need it. Definitely need some other better play. Let's see what else we got. Aminu, who was very good in game 4, by the way, which reason why we won. I think Aminu was big. So I'm talking about the Blazers and Thunder series, if you guys didn't know what I was talking about. But Luke Bonamute, Noah Vonleh, Jordan Bell, Trey Lyles, Markieff Morris, Christian. Let's see what we got. So Wayne Ellington and Terrence Ross are going to accept. That's great. That's what I wanted. And then you could maybe even go for DeMar Carroll. Like, could DeMar Carroll be a good fit here in Detroit? I don't know. But you know what? You're getting shooters, and that's what you want around your core that you just signed. So let's go get a backup point guard as well. I would definitely be down to just re-sign Ish Smith. He's a decent backup point guard, so I could see that potentially. Mike Conley, Ish Smith, you got Keldon Johnson and Terrence Ross and Wayne Ellington now. DeMar Carroll and Svi Mikhailuk, Blake Griffin. I'm going to move Terrence Ross to the small forward potentially. See how he goes. Whoops. Okay, I don't know what I just did, but let's go back to this. Terrence Ross. He goes up to an 80 overall, 6'7". I think he could do it, so we're going to move him to the small forward. Mark Carroll and Terrence Ross will run the small forward. Whether or not we have Terrence Ross come off the bench is good to me. So let's sign one more player. Power forward is really not a good power forward. I mean, maybe we can have Jonas Jerebko in like closing lineups for like maybe, I don't know. Maybe that doesn't make a lot of sense. Guys that can shoot. You want guys that can shoot and whatever. I don't know. Kelly Oubre, I expect him to be re-signed by the Suns. So whenever I do the Suns video, probably going to re-sign Kelly Oubre. But other than that, guys, that's basically what I see the Pistons doing. I see them trading for a perimeter star. They need to anyway. That's like desperately what they need. And whether or not it's Mike Conley, I don't know. But I think Mike Conley is just a perfect fit here. Basically the same contract as Blake Griffin. Same situation as Blake Griffin's in. They kind of fit the timeline of each other. I think Mike Conley would just be like that guy that you really need here. And super underrated. Probably would be an all-star in the East. We all know Mike Conley said he wanted to go to the Eastern Conference when that time was coming for him to be traded at the trade deadline. It didn't happen. But if Detroit is going to get Mike Conley, they're going to have to trade Luke Kennard. And whether or not they're willing to part ways with Luke Kennard, we'll have to wait and see. But Definitely should be interesting. So training camps, go untapped potential. Let's throw this at let's throw it at Keldon Johnson and make his potential a little bit better, because I do want him being really good. So we have a 9-man rotation with Mike Conley, Keldon Johnson, Terrence Ross, Blake Griffin, Audrey Drummond, Damari Carroll, Wayne Ellington, Jonas Jerebko, and Thon Maker. So I think I would rather start Damari Carroll for his defense and have Terrence Ross be that bench guy, because he was very good off the bench last year. So we'll do that, because I really do like him off the bench. But what did I just do? Oh, I just did that. Okay, so we want Keldon Johnson, and I want Terrence Ross for DeMar Carroll. That's what I meant to do. So let's take some minutes away from Thon Maker and Jerebko. Let's give these minutes to Terrence Ross, because he was balling off the bench last year for Orlando. So we're going to do that. And then, yeah, we're going to leave it like this. So hopefully this is a key to making the playoffs for Detroit. I'm going to simulate to the end of the season, guys, and let's see what happens. At the end of the season, we got Russell Westbrook winning MVP. We got Rookie of the Year going to Zion Williamson. We got Sixth Man of the Year going to RJ Barrett. Giannis Antetokounmpo wins Defensive Player of the Year, and Most Improved goes to Hassan Whiteside. Coach of the Year goes to Billy Donovan. I'm pretty sure that's what happened last video too, so very interesting. But we didn't make the playoffs, which I honestly think if Detroit were to land Mike Conley and sign some players around him, I think they'd make it. I think they'd be fine making it. They made it this year, and Mike Conley coming to the team with Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond, it's a recipe for winning. So I really doubt that they wouldn't make it next year. That's just how 2K is, but you know what? That's okay. And then we're going to go ahead and simulate these playoffs, just see who wins here. And guys, I'm just churning through these offseason predictions. I know some of you guys have been wanting to see other videos than this, but I am just trying to get these done. And then once these are done, or I'm trying to get to a point where we can like take a break from them, because I still have all the lottery teams to do. And then once the playoffs are still going, I'm not going to do any of the teams until the teams are eliminated. So eventually, once I get all the lottery teams done, and then these teams that are eliminated, I'll catch up to where at the point where we can do other videos other than just this. But I am trying to get every team done, since I've already started basically on doing all the teams. I got to get it done. So Oklahoma City in 6. There we go. Oklahoma City winning the championship. Russell Westbrook is your finals MVP. Thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't already. But this is Crushables, and I'm saying peace.